That was one of the rumors. But here's what you do, uh, Jules and B Bird. What you do is you bring Robert Saleh in, and you say, if we hire you as a head coach, who is your defensive coordinator? Okay. You talk to Zim, and we say, Zim, if you just decided to retire, who would you recommend as a defensive coordinator? Those are the two guys they should have talked to, the people that they talked to. They should have talked to three or four guys that came from Robert Saleh, from Zim. That's what they should have done. That's what good organizations do. That's how they found Clayton Adams and Connor Riley. It seems like to me, Shotty did that on the offensive side, and it appears to me the Cowboys front office, Jerry and Steven, they hired the defensive court. They hired Eberflus. That's the way it looks to me, and that to me, that's the kind of thing they've done, and it doesn't work. But
And then you can to add to that, and you could tell that Will McClay did they draft board, because they didn't pick the obvious picks like a running back.
oh well, but that's a whole nother show. But for real, but yeah, that's so it again. They could have just talked to Robert Saleh and got a few names from him, and honestly, they could have just hired White Cotton. You know, he was a defensive coach for Salah. That's where he came from. I don't know if he has any coordinator experience, but it's somebody like that. That's what you should do when you're interviewing and hiring. We've talked about that before.
Well,
What
see,
they
coach,
did,
let me throw this out there, because you having people. I don't think you have it as a theory. I mean, I'm pretty much saying that it's a fact, because it goes to what Lookout KC just said. Listen, the Bears are paying Matt Eberflus. They owe him, I think it's like 13 or 14 million dollars over the next 2 years. It's like $20,000 a day. That's how much the Bears got to pay him. So if you Google how much are the Cowboys paying Matt Eberflus, it's not public information. It's not out there. You cannot find it. There is no dollar amount out there. You cannot find it. Now, that's not like that. It's not like that for other teams. It's not like that for other coordinators. You can pull it up and you can see how much they are. But there, it's like that because they're not paying him anything.
but
It's just
well,
like Mike McCarthy last year was the lead one of the least paid
yeah,
coaches
coaches.
in the league, and that was the reason why he was here, and that's the reason why Eberflus is here. It's because he's one of the least paid from the Joneses on the staff. They would have had to pay them, and they would have had to pay these other guys that they would have been interviewing. They knew based off of his contract situation that he wasn't going to be
And I think
asking
they
for
had,
a lot
I
of
think,
money.
I, and I think they had to pay Clayton Adams a pretty nice salary because the Cardinals were trying to keep him,
So
so
and they so
they had to pay Clayton Adams.
and they don't want to do that. So ain't they
Mhm.
know ain't nobody want Matt Eberflus.
No, then he and it was a couple of guys I follow on Twitter was saying that there were some teams looking at him. I never
Yeah.
saw anybody that was interested in Eberflus. I know people wanted Salah. He was
Oh yeah.
highly sought,
Yeah.
and but no, that's
We
but
was
yeah.
worried about Salah turning the job down.
And honestly, what they should have did with Salah, they should have just told him, "We're gonna make you the highest paid coordinator in the NFL.
That would have gotten him through. But see, they don't
There
never
is no
do that.
salary cap for coaches.
They don't never do that. That
So
goes
now you're gonna be playing against him."
that goes back into my and they're gonna be better. Their defense is gonna be better. That goes back to my original thing when I was saying if that was me, I would have the best defensive coordinator in here,
Yeah.
and his name would be Robert Saleh. Out of that group that they had to choose from last year, that's who it would be. And instead, we got Matt Eberflus.